here, so I think we're okay. All right, so we're going to get started officially because we got a long doc. So,
good times.
Awkward pause so I can edit it later. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Friendly Fire, episode 9, Puppy. We're nearing number 10. Big blowout party. It'll probably be 6 months from now. We're going to talk about E3. Obviously, it's the big news. Mostly, we're going to lead off with Hardline, because I think that's what a lot of people want to talk about. It's kind of more pertinent to what we usually talk about. But I got a whole list here of a whole bunch of games, and that's why I've got this cast of characters with us to kind of help round out, because, like I said, I haven't been able to pay attention to E3 so much this week as much as I want to. I've kind of sniped in, watched what I wanted to watch. And then I followed pretty much links in here and links in our forums and stuff, but I know you guys have been up on it, judging by the forum posts and things, which is great. So I wanted to round it out. So before I want to keep this as short as I can because I do want to get into the meat and potatoes. So tonight, I'll leave Puppy, you guys. He needs no introduction. We're joined by, how's it arranged? I will go with Polly first. You're a repeat guest here, obviously, as well as, I know you do your own show, so you're probably going to be talking E3 a lot this week, I would guess.
Yeah, we recorded a podcast this week. We did about an hour and a half, and then the power went out on the guy who records it, so we lost all of it.
Such a noob move. Like that's never happened to me before.
So we're gonna have to try and re-record, but schedules haven't worked out, so we're just gonna.
You gotta have that backup recorder. That's what I think a lot of guys do, at least for audio.
I might start doing that just because that really sucked.
I know people that do. All 4 guys have Audacity, and they record their own, send it in, because it does sound a little better, but it just sounds it sounds a little crazy to me.
Sounds like so much work.
Yeah,
it is a little bit of work.
It is.
If you want
a little bit better quality, so but quality be damned. We have fedoras or
trilbies.
All right, but Paul, you are going to represent our hybrid, I guess. Puppy, you're almost there. You're PC and console kind of gaming, because I'm going to go into Mr. Bumbles, SirBumbles. What the hell am I calling you? Like officially,
Bumbles.
I have SirBumbles because that's your Twitter handle.
Bumbles, no, just Bumbles. Just Bumbles.
You are a console. Royalty. Primarily, Puppy, you still are. I consider you a console gamer, but I know you're going to talk about Hardline on the PC here in a minute.
Oh yeah,
Bubbles, if you want to talk about what you've been gaming since your first time on here, what you've been gaming, give people a little idea and a little bit about yourself. It's really awkward. I like putting people on the spot.
Okay. I just play whatever. I mean, Fallout, Battlefield, obviously. Forza. I mean, I've been doing Wolfenstein lately. That game's a lot of fun. I mean, killing Nazis, who cares? But and just because Aardvark's here, Mass Effect. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, that's it. I mean, I met Puppy actually through his YouTube channel. I was like, dude, this guy's pretty chill. Yeah, so I met Puppy. I was like, his YouTube channel. I'm like, dude, this guy's pretty chill. I'm going to send him a friend request. And then I never played with him because my internet never worked. So, yeah.
You must have met him like 2 years ago if you met him through his YouTube channel.
Yeah, man.
He does YouTube?
I was never...
Weird.
Never online.
And to be clear, Polly, Bumbles, you're Xbox One, right?
Yes.
And Puppy, that's you too. Polly, do you have next gen?
No, I don't. I just have my PC right now. I haven't really been doing old console stuff. So
much for that hybrid
mostly I've been playing BF4 and Minecraft lately just because I don't have much time, so that's all on PC.
So you picked 2 of the biggest time sinks in the industry right now.
Yeah. Those ones you can just jump into and jump out of if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, I could never jump in and out of Minecraft. That's why I'd stay away. But that's another podcast.
Minecraft can suck you down the time.
Yeah, it is. But I'm going to say, and Puppy, thanks for reminding me, that we're going to ask the chat what their favorite game of E3 is to make sure we kind of, if there's an overwhelming one that we don't have on our list, I want to make sure we cover it. Puppy's going to monitor the chat and kind of take a little poll here to make sure that we're staying on target, kind of try to have some time at the end to take games you guys want to talk about in chat. But I think we've got the big ones covered in this doc, so let's just get right into it.
Yep.
And we're going to start right out of shoot with Hardline. I was going to go on a whole monologue about the whole beta process, but I don't want to start off on a negative firebomb them all trip. But what do you guys think? Has everybody played it? Bumbles, I'm guessing you haven't then. Yeah, nope. Sorry. So maybe we will go with blow up the headquarters theme, but all right, so what are you guys thinking about it, and then I'll come around with it. Puppy, why don't you go ahead?
I'll take the lead on this one. Dude, I'm really liking it. I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of like, it's either the same thing. I'm seeing a lot of people, especially in the chat, of playing, because I'm playing it on PC, by the way. I've seen a lot of people that are like saying, "Oh, it's just a DLC of Battlefield 4. It acts like an expansion, or whatever." They're saying it's so similar, and I'm seeing a lot of other people saying that it's just not really fun. I don't really understand where that's coming from because when I played it, I had fun, and I'm not even really a hardcore PC gamer. I'm not very good at playing on PC. I'm quite the scrub. But I mean, even though like I'm bad at it, I'm still having fun. Like it's. I don't know, like, it's something new, it's something fresh, it's something that we haven't really done before in the Battlefield series. Like, I understand that it's kind of, they're throwing the money at you, and some people think it's kind of gimmicky, but at the same time, it's the gimmicky stuff that gets me, I mean, if you're not going to open yourself up to just something that's a little bit gimmicky, what do you want? A lot of people are saying it's not new enough, it's not, revolutionary.
It's not new, it's not new. What do you want? Yeah, I want Bad Company 3.
What do you want? Yeah, okay, Bad Company 3. It's going to look just like Bad Company 2, but better.
We've had two others. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but they're not even asking for innovation or new IP. They want a rehash of just something else.
Yeah. Which to me, I see that's what I'm really liking. Is it's something new.
Rehash the wrong thing. Like I'm with you, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I don't get people like. It's like this day and age, and I hate it, and I'm probably part of it, is that we hate things first and need to be convinced things are good. Like, it's fucking video games. If you don't get excited about it, you must be a miserable prick at home. Like it's like, why not go into a game assuming it's going to be good first and to be proven otherwise? And that's kind of how I try to approach games. Not always happens that way. Obviously, I get scorned and burned, but that's fine if the like the dev studio or whatever has a history. But I don't know. It's like they're trying something different. Like, I didn't expect a Battlefield. I think we talked about this, right? I didn't expect a Battlefield game this fall, so I got nothing to lose here. Yeah. And it's not taking resources from DICE or anything. Like, what the hell? Like, why not? So I don't get the hate. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I can get this feeling. So many people go in not wanting to like it, and it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy in that way. And
yeah. I think that's my big issue with it is a lot of people are just looking for something to hate, and I feel like perhaps because of the taste that Battlefield 4 has left in just about everybody's mouth, people are just looking to hate on Battlefield. In much the same way that, like after Call of Duty started dropping, what was it, Black Ops 2, and then they went with the, Modern Warfare 3, or maybe the order was reversed or whatever. No, and like both of those games were really bad. And like I was a big fan of Call of Duty before then, I even played Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and COD 4, and I even went back further than that and played the original COD and COD 2, the ones that not a lot of people even heard of. And they're like, there was a COD 1? What? Yes, that used to be a thing. Yeah. But I feel like once like a game does bad and they make like they produce this atrocious title, and then because they keep slapping that title on there for their series like Call of Duty or Battlefield, people just want to hate it. They just want to without even giving it a fair shot. They just nah, it's got Call of Duty in the title, screw it. I mean how many people in this chat have I already seen hating on Advanced Warfare? And as much as that name sounds retarded, have you tried it?
No.
Have you tried it? Can you honestly knock it?
We're not going to get on this tangent, but I think
that's a different story.
I think it's justified in that case because they put out so much shit, and it is just so trifling and bad. Like, people are making fun of what they're doing, not necessarily even the game yet, but it's hard to discern. I don't know, but I think that's a risk you're saying. You're hitting on the COD and the Battlefield branding now. That's a risk you take. When you brand everything under one umbrella, that's the risk you take. You want the benefits of leveraging the Battlefield brand to sell this one game. If this one game is shit, you have just, blown your mortgage on that good brand you had. But I think Battlefield brand is probably at a all-time low right now anyway, so it's not really much to lose. So let's get into the topics here. I'm just going to say, probably not going to do. I'm enjoying it. I haven't played that much, 6 hours, maybe 7 hours. I'm just reading the chat a second. Puppy, Polly, what do you think of it?
I just got to play it yesterday because I downloaded it the day before but didn't have time to play, and then when I went to play last night I had to kind of re-download it. It said updating, but it was like 5 gigs again, so I was like...
Yeah, they put out a 5 gig update. Isn't that
it's like,
crazy?
That's not an update.
It's a read.
Anyway, but I did get to play it for, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 hours or so. I did about even time on both modes. It was fun. I like Heist better. It's just more my cup of tea.
Yeah, if I had to pick... we got that here, so we might as well talk about it. I want to like Heist better, but I think I've had better experiences on Blood Money. But that could have just been the session.
Which is kind of the reverse of me, because I had better times on Heists than Blood Money. Blood Money was just a free-for-all, nobody doing anything, where Heist, at least half the people were trying, and some people didn't know, but as soon as people tell them in the chat, like, oh, I get it now, so.
Yeah, I felt like the opposite.
It can depend on who you get in the games for sure right now, because everybody's learning it. They jump in, oh, I'm going to try it, but I don't really know what I'm doing. So you're definitely running into that. But I like a lot of the different little tweaks and things everybody's been talking about in like videos and articles and all that stuff, all the little differences. I'm liking most of those for sure.
Let's talk about the big one, gunplay. Yeah. What do you guys think of that? More recoil for sure.
To me, it wasn't the recoil I noticed so much as, well, some of it's recoil, but there's a lot more gun sway kind of in general a little bit.
Horizontally, yeah.
Yeah, horizontal, like the LMG, I could not do that at all. Because they've got like I think it's a 3.4 scope on it by default to start with. It is just like, don't even bother zooming in. You're not going to be able to hit anything. And I don't know, maybe it's just that was why it felt like I wasn't able to do any damage with it, because I just had to quit. And I was like, I can't kill anyone with it. I just kept dying. No matter, even if I'd like start shooting someone, they'd turn around and kill me. It was like crazy with that gun. Much more success with other ones.
I will say this. I don't know that I can be a fair judge of how gunplay has changed. Just because
there's no M60?
Well, not only is there no M60, but like to me, it's a hell of a lot easier to control a recoil of a gun with a mouse than it is a controller.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's to me like
platforms too.
I mean, like I only have Battlefield 4 that I've really played extensively, and Battlefield 3 on console to compare to Battlefield Hardline on PC, and like to me, like the recoil, I didn't really notice. I just chalked it up to I'm rusty on PC because my shot is off. It's ugly looking. I may upload a video later.
To me, I'm not the biggest expert. It feels different a little bit, but not like extremely so. It still feels like a Battlefield sort of mechanics in there with small differences, and it depended a lot on the gun too. Some guns felt a lot different than some of the other ones felt a little more similar.
It could be attachments too. We don't really have.
I haven't even messed with attachments either. So
I think there's definitely more recoil. It's funny because you got the video guys making videos saying M16 is OP and it's back. Then you have the other guy or in the same video he's saying, but there's tons of recoil. It's like, well, which is it?
And then also suppression differences makes it.
I think it's a
different.
Big thing.
It's just a different way to do suppression that's what is different than Battlefield 4. So if you've been playing a ton of that and used to that, and then go into Hardline, it feels different just because of that, regardless of the guns.
It feels a lot cleaner to me. Like, there's just less muck. There's not as much grenades at your feet, so you're not in that panic mode of I'm on the run and shooting. It's like a clean gun versus gun. And
does it feel more like Bad Company than Battlefield 3 or 4 then? Like, what would you compare it to in a Battlefield franchise then?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I could because if you go Bad Company, it's kind of. I was gonna say I think Bumbles' camera's lagging. No.
To me, it's more of a it's just because they take out all the explosives like you mentioned. You don't got to worry about the nades and stuff. I'm a huge fan of that. You don't got to worry about tanks. I'm anti-vehicle kid too. I'm infantry, ground pounding all the way.
So a little bit though, you do.
I will say this, though, something that I have noticed, it is a little bit, it will kind of affect gunplay, and I don't know, I haven't seen anybody else talk about this on YouTube, although I haven't been searching for every video covering Hardline, because I can play it. But, like,
Troll.
When you, yeah, I know, right? When we have the different classes, right? And you got your basically the same class. They just have different names. You got your assault, your engineer, your support, and your recon with the different names. But has anybody else really noticed that support in particular, the only thing you can slap on your LMG is ACOGs?
Yeah, it's really limited. It's kind of silly. That's why.
I think it's probably a beta thing more than anything else.
Do you think that's a beta thing?
Yeah, I do. Just because of the other attachments and other things in there, it feels
like too small for any gun for an ACOG, in my opinion.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at. Like on some of the rooftops, looking down some of the roads, you can get some distance.
Then you're better off with something else, Well,
it depends.
Let's kind of. I want to kind of keep moving this along.
One other thing. What about the gas grenades? Have you run into gas grenade spam like I have a little bit?
I do.
Where, especially on the Blood Money, there were people just coming to our truck, throwing like tons of those things around, and you can't see them. That gas
that's
effect
stupid.
is like
I don't understand.
I walk into it, I'm like, I'm choking to death. Okay, now I know there's gas here. I better run the other way.
You know something I
It's
noticed?
hard to see.
I don't know if it's a beta thing, but I actually slapped the gas mask on just because I thought it was funny and it looked kind of cool. I was like, oh yeah, and it gets you like a little, you can see it and it changes
like
the way the game sounds and stuff. But I noticed that when you run through gas, your guy still does the really loud, like super loud.
Yeah, the coughing. It's really loud. You think it's somebody in your room.
Like I legit turn around. Like
it's out of place. It's not meshed in with the other environmental sounds at all. It's like it's weird. Which I guess is kind of funny.
You're faking it so that everyone thinks you're choking, so that you can take them by surprise.
I was editing videos and I had a couple weird deaths. I'm like, what did I die from? Like I didn't get shot. I had like 40 health, so it wasn't like one bullet while I was on the ground. And all of a sudden I'm like, I died from the gas, I guess. Like, I don't know, but...
I had a weird death that I'm chalking up to beta because I was parachuting off a roof to the ground, full health, floating as slowly as I possibly could, and I died when I hit the ground. Like, what? It was weird.
I've had some where I legit will pull the parachute like 2 feet from the ground.
I've done that
and land and be fine.
Well, because you think it's going to auto-open. It don't.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it'll open. You're doing something else, and you're like, oh shit.
It'll let you spawn on teammates that are falling.
Yeah.
So,
well, the funniest, have you guys broken the what the hell is the thing called? The zip lines? The guy's on it. You can hit it with your baton, and then he falls.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can shoot him too.
You can shoot it.
Yeah,
too.
but I was like running. The guy ran away. I was like, bloop. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So, but this is what I like about the game. It's a less serious game. Like, my point is, I want Battlefield 4 to stay a simulator, stay gritty, realistic. I want to have dust on my boots when I leave that game. This one, I don't need that with this one. Let's have some fun. Let's giggle. Like I was saying to a buddy of mine, I was like, the first time I got into Blood Money, and we were like storming the cash pile, and we're loading up. We're all got 400K or whatever, we're running, and I was the last guy to run. There's just dollar bills flying by me. It's coming out of the bags, and I was like, that's funny to me. Like, I was laughing while I was playing, and it's got a good style, a good feel to me. I just like that.
I was having a lot of fun with the cop cars. Yeah, you have like a big bag on your back.
It's just an
that has
animation.
money in it. Particles fly out the back.
Do you lose any of the take? Like,
no.
Is this like Grand Theft Auto style heist? Like where it's like
no.
shot at?
I think it's more for other players to see that, hey, that guy has cash.
It's an indicator. Besides the big red bag on his back, but yeah. All right, so let's move from the good and talk about
one more good. Cop cars and ramming people is fun. With the sirens and lights going, I mean,
the cop cars are cool. And when you can climb it out of the windows, I really like that. That is probably, like I said in my video, like one of the most immersive moments is like you really feel like you're playing cops and robbers when you're like out the roof shooting people until you get sniped out and you're dead. But
what would you say about the people who are like, oh, it's like Payday, but not? Like, 'cause that's the biggest comparison. Like, I haven't played it, so I can't really speak on it. But
these modes do not feel like Payday.
Those people that say it feels like Payday haven't played it.
It feels like Payday because you're robbing things. That's it. Like, Payday was against bots, first of all. Like, this is not against bots. So right there, it's just like, even if it's a Payday clone, I'm shooting other people. I'm happy. I don't care. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a cop-out, I think, to say Payday. I mean, it's got vibes to it, sure. It's a cops and robbers game, but...
Yeah. I think that's more from before anyone got to play it. They were just looking at it thinking, oh, what's something semi-similar? And it just kind of held on a little bit.
I mean, I frankly would have wished they would have stolen some more ideas from Payday, to be frank. Would have been fine.
Who knows? Maybe they will in other areas.
I wouldn't be surprised.
DLC. Premium might come for it.
Yeah, that's definitely coming. All right, so then let's talk about auto revive. And Bubbles, I know you haven't played, but you can speak kind of theoretically.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Chat before we get into this discussion. What do you guys think on this one? I'm sure this is going to be kind of anybody's play is going to have an opinion, so I'd like to get you guys involved. What do you guys auto revive? I mean, I said in my video, I hate this. I just can't stand this. Don't even try to.
Only
fix this.
I get it. That's what I want. There you go.
Yeah,
only me.
I love it when the needle's in my arm, but nobody else's. Right? It's.
I don't
first heard it.
I'm pretty much the same as what you said in the video.
I disagree.
Like,
all right, good. Let's go.
I like it.
Let's hear why you're
wrong.
Really
Agreements.
Let's hear why you're wrong, puppy.
You were wrong, and let me tell you, no. I will say it. I can understand. Like if you're in a room where everybody and their mother is using it, I get that. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but like
that's
from
where we're at right now.
My own personal experience, though, when I play, I don't encounter a lot of people that use it. And here's the other thing too: is like I may be really bad at this game, but I get a fair amount of headshots, you know. And when you see that red X pop up and drop, and you get your little extra points for a headshot, you don't even got to bother with them. You know they're not getting back up because they can't get back up from a headshot death. So, like, to me, it's not that big of a deal. Plus, when they do get up, when they do activate that auto revive, they will start to move first. Like, if you're looking, you will see them move. I mean, they don't just up and their corpse starts shooting you. Their body has to move a little bit, and their animation's a little off. Like, I mean, if you've ever used it, you see like your guy's like and injecting it like this huge dramatic motion, and then he gets up. And like on the actual animation, it's not really that dramatic. You just see kind of like an elbow move or something.
Right. I think to balance it out, they should let you put a bullet into him extra after he's dead. Like, regardless of what he does. Like, right now you have to wait. And like he has to start moving. Yeah. No, if execute him. Like, I put him down. Yeah. It's my initiative. I beat you. I should be able to pump 2 in your head or whatever, and then walk on.
Zombie initiative. Double tap it. Just to make sure.
If you want, like, I don't know. Like, I think I have a principal problem with this. Like, it's just the idea that I beat you, and I still kind of have to worry about you.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting idea that's not quite there right now. How it works, maybe if they tweak it, I might change my mind. But yeah, I don't know.
Crutch for the lone wolf. I mean, that's what this is, and a bad.
I think it's something them just putting one more thing of, hey, let's try this and put it in here to tweak it so we're different. We're not exactly the same. Yeah. And whether all of those ideas are going to work or not, who knows? So. I mean, it's still beta right now. They might take it up with the main game. They might tweak it. It might be exactly the same. Who knows?
We're going to have to make a huge fuss in order to get them to take it out.
Yeah. I think they don't like to take
at this point,
But I think that as long as it's not like Last Chance from Call of Duty, where like you can whip out a gun and like run to people, like crawl to people, I think it's
wipe your ass on the ground. How about this?
That's what my understanding was originally.
I will say this:
you could pull out a pistol and shoot.
I will say this, it does have some issues. I kind of chalked it up to being just a beta. I will try and make sure that I find the footage, and I will throw it up in a video. But I actually have a clip that I recorded in which a guy who used it, used the auto-revive, like for some reason. You know how like you remember like in Battlefield 3 or in Battlefield 4, if somebody got revived, like they'd be stuck in the crouch animation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
this guy was stuck laying down. Yeah. Like dead. And he was stuck, and his body's flying all over the place, and he's shooting and stuff. Because he killed me, and I watched him in my death cam as he's flying.
It might have only been on your screen, yeah. I'm looking at Aardvark, like, why can't we throw these things like darts then? Like, start taking, throwing them. Like, it's a class, it's a skill. But I have a principal problem with this. I have a problem that this is a selfish, perk. I think perks should be what you balance your team with, but they're clearly making an effort to go the lone wolf route and make it more, approachable to lone wolves. And on that note, I have something here I know Polly likes, is the interaction with other players to get ammo and heals.
Now, I like actually how they've done it where
they've done it.
You can go up and you can get a clip, and you're not getting like a full box of ammo really quickly. You have to keep hitting the button, and it's a risk if you're in a firefight. But at least this way, you know that you can get some health or you can get some ammo without having to jump up and down and scream and never get it.
And that support guy can keep suppressing. He can keep suppressing fire. Yeah. So I had a bigger problem with this before I played. So I'm just gonna say that right out of the box. You guys know I don't like people crowding.
You have to jump up their nose to get it. You can get it from a fair distance away.
But I think they've executed it fairly well. So it'll be interesting to see. What do you guys think?
Puppy might get on me for this. This reminds me of Warfighter, where you'd actually have to go up to your squad mate and it here's a magazine. And it's like a lot of that I've been seeing actually come over, like there's stuff in Battlefield 4 as well.
Oh, definitely. It's the same guys.
And it's like, it's good mechanics. Like Warfighter, obviously, well, I liked it, and Puppy's blasphemous, I know. I think it had good ideas, and it's like, I'm glad to see some of them, being brought upon.
You could have left the UCAV in that shit.
No, fuck the UCAV.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see... Like if that was only, I would like to see it even like more, not battle buddies or whatever the hell they called it, but you want to restrict it to squads or something. I'd be on board with that, but I don't like the overall theme of this game, which I guess is okay. Like I would take more issue with this if this is Battlefield, 5 now.
5.
They're taking the team play out. Is really what they're doing. I mean, you don't need a teammate to revive you. You don't need a teammate to give you anything, loot. So. I'm okay with this game, if that's what this is going to be, because I lone wolf a lot, so I'll take advantage of this. But I hope this doesn't bleed over, but we're getting a little far ahead there, I suppose. Let's just talk about purchasing weapons real quick, because that's also different. Everybody thought it was going to be this big thing where like you bought them in match and that's it. It's clearly not that anymore. No. But they kind of like half-assed it, because it's like you need these ranks. So it's like even though you've got like 100K, but you don't have the ranks for a weapon to unlock. So it's kind of weird. It's not. It's like I felt like they should have just went all cash or not. Yeah. So
I haven't gotten that deep into it yet, so I wasn't sure exactly how that worked. I do like that you can unlock weapons in a not set order, because one of the things that's gotten tired by now is just getting so much XP and you unlock a bunch of stuff, and you don't like the next 3 or 4 guns that you unlock.
Yeah, it's linear. Yeah.
It's cool that you can be like, oh, I want to try that gun, so I'm going to buy it. I'll save up for it. I think that's a cool idea. I don't know. I just haven't gotten deep into it know the rank thing.
What, like 70 kills to do like a underbarrel before you can buy an underbarrel? You have the money, but you need 7 ranks, which is 10 kills per. Or it's like 100 kills for like a suppressor.
That reminds me of Call of Duty a lot.
Yeah, if you want to be able to,
it's like Call of Duty, but it's not. That's what it's like, a hybrid of Battlefield 4 and
Black Ops. Black Ops 1 did that when they had.
It's like that, but it's like Battlefield
or whatever they called it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like for me, it's like I played Black Ops a lot. Like I actually enjoyed Black Ops.
And I like that
extent. Yeah, I like the system because it's like, okay, well, you're level 10 and you got a set amount of money, so it's like theoretically you could buy that one gun that you have to twist in order to like load into the chamber. That it was a burst fire. I can't remember the name for the life of me, but it's like you had to be that rank. I don't mind that because it stops like low levels who do really good per round from being able to purchase like.
But attachments were wide open. You could buy any attachment.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I think attachments. I think it's like if you're. Well, how does it work? Is it like are they available off the bat or no?
No, there's tiers basically.
You have to rank them.
I hope this is something they're paying attention to, because those values are something you could easily change. Because I don't think the system itself is bad, just maybe how much you have to get there.
And this is the type
of
stuff
something you can tweak.
I think they are taking feedback on. It's easy to tweak. I mean, these are just variables. It's easy to do away with if they wanted to. I don't know. Like I gotta wait 100 kills to try a certain weapon with a silent. It's like no. Like let me. I don't know if there's some way I'm trying to think off the. You can get your first one earlier, and then to get another one, you have to rank up. I don't know, but like I have like all the optics unlocked on all the ARs, but I don't have anything else. It's because I just have all this money and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
first world problems.
That's actually my issue. I'm sure when the full release is here, we'll have more stuff to buy. We'll have more stuff, and maybe the money will kind of scale.
Packs.
But right now, as it stands, like. I'm overflowing with cash. I have bought everything, and I'm still sitting on like 150K.
And I'm like, better say real life.
What do I do with it all?
That's beta though. They want you to use your money. Like you said, I'm just gonna chalk it up to that. But
they
want you to have. They want you to unlock everything in due time.
I have. Yeah. I've bought all the things.
Yeah.
Minus the stuff for the UMP, which again that comes back to the whole having to get kills to be able to buy everything. That gun is terrible.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, Puppy. You're completely wrong.
It is terrible.
I've done the best with the UMP.
Really?
I love that gun. Yes.
I want to see the gameplay.
This tells me they've done a good job, though. I like this. I like one guy hates it, one guy loves it. That's game balance to me. I don't know.
To me, like everybody's talking about, like, ooh, the M16. I hated it. I couldn't get any kills with it.
No, everybody loves the AKM.
Do you mean everybody by level cap?
Well, M16
I haven't gotten that one.
No,
yes,
M16,
true.
But
all right. Well, but before I got to play it, it seemed like I was hearing about that.
No, you were. The M16
anyway.
Oh yeah, everyone. It's a big deal. It's a fully automatic. No one wants to try and learn to use a burst fire. Heaven forbid they have a.
But of all the ones I've tried so far, I haven't gotten to try all the guns because I bought them all yet. But the UMP is the one that I've liked the most.
I haven't even branched out, and I'll have to do those. I hope to play a bunch tomorrow. We'll see.
I will just wrap it up really quick. I would say I've tried every gun out there, and out of all of them, I like the sawed-off. Believe it or not,
I hate the shotguns. Thank you for bringing that up. The
shotguns. The
shotguns are OP. The shotguns are OP. I'll say it now. I don't like the.
Bumbles is happy.
I've been shot by shotguns from 50 yards away and just boom. Done.
Yeah, the 870, but the sawed-off?
Shotguns. That's all I'm saying. I haven't paid that. I rage so hard, I don't even watch the kill cam. All right?
I'm happy now.
But I'm enjoying the sawed-off just because to me it seems balanced enough. You can get one kill, guaranteed one kill, and then you're going to die because the reload is atrociously long. and then the AKM, but that's just because like the AKM is a god gun.
You have to grind it, but
god
if you do the
my
work,
brother.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just not going to grind in beta. I'm not going to do it. So, release, if I buy this, yeah, I'll do it. But I'm not going to bother with beta. And it's kind of, I don't know, like, yeah, and that's fine. But it's frustrating when you get, I mean, because they don't have the CTE patch, obviously, so you're attaching to that. It's a bad mix, but it's beta is beta. Let's talk about some bigger issues here, and then we're going to move on from Hardline. This is kind of the fire, the one that's going to blow up, probably the beta itself. And I said I'm not going to do my thing, but let's talk about dollars and cents, and dollars and makes no sense maybe. Was excluding Xbox One or I get whatever smart. Regardless, I'm just reading the point here. Regardless of an open beta down the road, and it's from Bumbles. Who cares about an open beta down the road? If you're really doing it now for feedback, why are you being exclusive? I understand there might be some focus issues here, but I will never believe that alienating a huge portion of your potential customer base is ever a good idea. I don't care how much money Sony handed you. Mm-hmm. It's short term. And did you need that money that badly? I don't think you do.
I don't know. Did you see EA's press conference? Ooh.
But let's take rough math. The Xbox platform is 1/3 of your market, right? I mean, it's probably more than that.
It's the bigger of the console market.
But I'm just saying, let's be conservative. Let's say it's 1/3 Xbox, Sony, PC. You pissed off 1/3, because I know guys that were high in this were kind of like, okay, cool. Now they are pissed, and I don't blame them. When I couldn't get in beta, I was pissed. I'm still pissed, and so I don't get this logic.
I wonder if there's some weird behind the scenes technical issue with maybe servers or who knows what that we don't know. Surely there's an actual reason other than just like, oh, we don't like Xbox. I'm sure there's a reason for it. We just don't know.
If you look at the way the patches have been on Xbox One, though, for the Battlefield 4 game so far, they've always come out after the PS3, the 360, and the PS4 versions, and the PC, obviously. And there's never been any set reason as to why that is. So I'm maybe thinking maybe there's something with the coding of the way the Xbox One's built. I'm not sure, but it's a little frustrating because it's like, the way I see it, down the road, it's going to be like, okay, well, we have this open beta for every platform in 4 months from today, and it's like, the PS4 and the PC will get the updated versions, but the other three consoles, 360, One, and the PS3, are going to be starting at ground zero. Because it's like, you can't just say, will every problem be able to be fixed? Because, this is a problem with the PS4. Okay, so then it's a underlying issue. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you're kind of fucking up, Visceral. I mean, Dead Space 3 wasn't that great to begin with, and this is really not the great way to begin your Battlefield campaign either.
Like, if my point would be, from a marketing standpoint, if you couldn't put it out on both consoles, don't put it out on either. Mm-hmm. Just do PC and say it's a technical thing. I'm not saying it just because I'm a PC guy. Obviously, it's going to come across that way. But just say, like, people would have totally believed it. Hey, guys, PC, we can update it on the fly. It's CTE, Battlefield 4. It's the same thing. It's a much more open environment. We want people wouldn't like it, but they believe it. This nonsense that we're going to isolate from one console. Bullshit. It's
even if it wasn't like saying it was a technical issue, just say focus. Like we're going to focus right here, so we can actually not get so much crazy data for this one, and we're going to do something in the future.
And I think there is value to that. I think that's legitimate. But is it worth the people I know that are pissed off now? You are really going to have to prove it to them to get them to buy this game.
Take me out for dinner. I mean. You remember Warfighter did this actually with Warfighter. Warfighter, Puppy. I'm going to reference a lot, so forgive me early. Xbox. Yeah. I mean, I remember like 360 was the only one that had the beta, and while 360, I mean, it wasn't a perfect game. That's
how I got fooled.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game, but you look at the problems it had on the PlayStation 3 as well as PC.
Terrible.
Xbox 360 didn't have those problems at all. And it's because the beta was on 360, and it's like, well, day one, it's like, I don't want to have a repeat of Battlefield 4 where it's like, I'm running and boom, I'm already well around the corner on the other side of China, and it's like, boom, I just got shot. Oh, okay. Well, because that's what's going to happen, I feel. It's like, you're excluding it, changes aren't going to be made as they need to be made, and you're aside from alienating, it's just like you're basically giving the big middle finger to everybody.
Yeah. All right, so hold on. We put a classy hat on Puppy. Puppy's so
Come on, Puppy, do it.
I have a theory. I was patiently waiting. I know you guys have your
twirl
things.
your mustache a little bit.
What
do you got, Sherlock? What do you got, Sherlock?
Let's leave that down for now. That's later.
It's a little early to get everybody so fired up.
I don't need to be getting people too excited. But all right. So I honestly would much rather be playing this beta on Xbox. But I have a theory, and I actually kind of, when they said that it wasn't going to be on Xbox, but it was going to be on PC and it was going to be on PlayStation 4. I actually kind of assumed that I already had a good idea as to why, and that is the Xbox Live approval process for every game that they come out with. Any game or any update that anybody comes out with, it has to go through this approval process. They have to make sure that it works and blah, blah, blah. And like you got these guys at Microsoft that have to test the crap out of it. And I think that Visceral pushed this through to beta so fast that I don't even think they were really anticipating doing this until like probably a week before E3. They're like, well, we got the servers. This will be fun. Let's do this. Let's just throw it up there and let's do this. And at that point, you can't really go to Microsoft and go, hey, next week we need a beta, closed beta, so let's do this.
I can counter that. Yeah. I can counter that entire theory. Week or two before E3, there was reports that people who were signed up to go to Sony's E3 conference were getting emailed the beta keys already, and people on PC were already playing.
But even then, I mean, you want to say a month? It's still tight.
It takes
because if it bounces
roughly,
back.
It takes roughly a month, and the main thing that I'm using to base this off of is actually the Minecraft patches, because I follow the Minecraft devs. And they will tweet the instant they say, "All right, guys, we got a new game update for the Xbox version of Minecraft coming out. It's going into certification now. If it doesn't bounce back, it'll be out in a month."
They do the same thing with CTE on Battlefield 4. They say there's a patch and certification. It should be 2 weeks. Might not be, and that's fair. I mean, that's not their problem. But it could get bounced back for any reason. I mean, it could really. It's kind of silly. I guess I don't know what I expect them to do. Like, they can't really say that if that's the case, I guess. But again, I think if that were the case, they should have just been like, then let's just not do it on PS4. Like, let's not piss people off. I don't know, but I just think it's.
I think they still wanted to try and get it out to as many people as possible. I understand that, they're going to piss people off.
They just wanted it on a console.
But they wanted it on a console, and you got to figure. I know Bumbles doesn't want to hear this at all.
Just say it.
Sony right now, PlayStation 4 has the bigger audience. They have the numbers. As far as console players, as far as Battlefield players go, it's all on PlayStation 4. They are all over there. So that's where the numbers are. So if you got to get it on a console, and you can get it to that console because Sony's approval process is lightning quick, then fine, let's just do it that way. And I think that's honestly where they went from. Now, getting somebody official to try and confirm all that, good luck doing that. But that's my theory on it. So.
That's good. I could see some meat to
I will be right back. I gotta run.
All right, well, that's fine, because he can't really answer this. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up on Hardline. Chat, I want you to be involved in this. We're going to just do a quick... I'm going to put... What is it, 69 or 79? Is that what they're price pointing this at right now? Let's say $60, buy it or pass it. I know it's super early. It's just for discussion. Nobody has to make this decision right now. Thankfully,
buy it or pass. Let's see.
Let's just see. I want to see where people are at. Buy or pass at 60, and then we're going to talk about maybe what price point we on the cast might pull the trigger on it, because I don't know if I can pay a full price for this. And I like the game. I'm actually a supporter of it right now, but I'm going to clearly wait for game modes. That's my thing. This is where I was on Titanfall. I came on here. I did videos saying it's a good core. It's got a concept. I like it. It needs content. Basically, is what it needs. It needs game modes. It needs all kinds of different things, guns, gadgets, things. So that, luckily, we got 4 months for them to work on that, and we're gonna get to see it again for free, which is great. So right now, for what I'm seeing, I would not buy this for $60 to $70, knowing that to get the full game, you're probably gonna pay upwards of $100. And I have a feeling this will be one of those games that will go on sale at some point. So I might be a little patient for this. The only caveat with me, asterisk, is YouTube. If the views are there, I might be more prone to do it. But the views don't seem to be there right now. But what do you guys think? Would at $60, would you buy or pass right now? Right now, obviously. And then if you're passing, where would that price point have to go to make you kind of intrigued?
Polly, go.
Right now, pass. Even though I do like the core, but like you said, we just don't know enough. And I'm really interested in the campaign because Visceral has done good campaigns in the past. I want to see what they do. If they can make a campaign that's like Heat or something similar, that would be really awesome. And again, if you're going to play tons of multiplayer, the campaign isn't hours-wise as much for sure, but good campaigns are great fun. So I'm looking forward to see what they do there. Hopefully it's good.
This is the argument we had a couple weeks ago. How much is a campaign worth to you? None to me.
True.
It's something I would look forward to and play. Yeah. It has no value.
I'm a big single-player guy, too, so
you are,
not just multiplayer stuff. So I do look forward to that. I'm going to look to it more for multiplayer, but that doesn't mean I'm not interested in the end.
I can see this being a bad company as a single-player.
Right now, pass just because we don't know enough about the full package, single-player included for me.
That's fair. Puppy, what do you got?
I actually would get it. Not only would I get it at $60, but I actually would be willing to pay an extra $30 for a premium. Sort of DLC type package, 30, not 60.
Go home, puppy.
I do have to say that. Here's
one beer, folks, and he's drunk.
There's no beer. I have not drank tonight.
It's a leather sweat.
To me,
the fumes.
It's the shag carpet.
So you're not only going to pay full price, you're just going to give them 30 for.
I will give them an extra $30 for any DLCs they may be throwing my way if they have some to throw my way.
Puppy's high in the game.
Now here's the thing. I have wasted $30 before. I bought the $30 DLC pack thing for Halo 4 and never downloaded a single one. So I have been burned before. But as it stands right now, to me the game is fun. It shows potential. Visceral is a confident and competent game developing company. Mm-hmm. So. we may all be like, is this the next Battlefield, and is this going to be, the next big thing? To me, that doesn't really matter because so far the game is fun and I'm enjoying it, and all they've given me is one map and 2 game modes and 6 guns.
I'm with you buying it. I think throwing a premium on top is a little much, but
that's just me. That's just me. To me, because also I will add that a part of me feels this way because it is multiplayer, and if it wasn't multiplayer, if it was just single player, my stance on that. I don't think single player games are worth that much. I think single player games are worth between 20, maybe 40 if it's an open world type game. But to me, because it's multiplayer, yeah, sure, I'll get more use out of it, so I'll go ahead and throw it the extra $20.
Yeah, I'm seeing guys say here it seems to be the sweet spot is $30 to $40, which I think is fair. I do. I mean, the unfortunate part is if you stack it up, like you take the Battlefield off the name, right, and you put it next to Battlefield 4, it's gonna have a single player campaign. It's gonna have 10 to 12 maps probably. Although they've said there's gonna be a lot of maps and a lot of game modes. I don't know. We'll see. There's gonna have to be so many. I bet you statistically it's gonna stack up pretty nicely to a full price AAA game. But people are gonna have the stigma that because it's built on top of Battlefield 4 that it's just this big standalone DLC. And I've said that myself, and it goes both ways. Like I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on a standalone DC, but if you sit down and look at it, you're getting theoretically on paper value for that. You're getting, like you said, a potentially better campaign than Battlefield 4. Can't be much worse, right? You're getting as long as I'm getting a decent number of maps, 10 to 15. I'm getting game modes is what's going to sell me because they have said there's going to be a shit ton of game modes. They've said that the head guy has said on Twitter there's going to be a lot of game modes. I don't know what that means.
I thought you had him quoted as saying shit ton.
Probably did.
I got a lot of press integrity.
Well, if they're all like as imaginative as
I would have pre-ordered with premium if he said shit ton of game modes. Let's just put it right now. All right. You can.
Well, the 2 game modes we've got already are fun and they're nice. They're tweaks on other things that if they can add more like that and maybe in a few more classic ones like deathmatch, it's going to be.
They've already said TDM is in there.
So I mean, what shooter doesn't have TDM?
Yeah, and it should be. It's the warm-up map.
So if they have that, these 2 modes, that and about 4 or 5 other ones or something, that will be a lot of modes.
The live or die for them, I think, is going to be what they put behind the paywall, like what they stick behind premium, like how much they're going to give you, and they got to give away the farm in that first 60 and then add on value. They can't hide value behind that, and we're all savvy enough at this point. We are, and people listening, but they don't, whatever. To me, it's probably gonna. I don't know. I can't necessarily say. I would entertain the thought of paying full price for it. It's going to come down to game modes for me. I'm silly. I like the familiarity of it. Like I don't hold hold back on it that it's so familiar to Battlefield 4. I don't. I'm a father. I like the fact that I can jump in and I can play this game right now. Like, I don't...
I think it's different enough,
yeah,
but the same. So it's got that kind of sweet spot going on.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to wrap up Hardline. You guys have anything else to add? I think we kind of...
I'll say one thing about the modes.
So, go for it.
I think it's, for me, the modes, it's like... I'll advocate for the competitive scene, and this will probably segue into another game.
I was going to skip that, but if you want to touch on that.
Mm-hmm. For me, the competitive, like, Aardvark's kind of got me into it. I've been playing a lot of Diffuse now. Dang you, Aardvark. I'm enjoying it, and it's like, I think the competitive scene, it's like, a mode I would like to see is like if they're doing squads again, where it's like five-man squads, maybe have 5v5 hostage rescue. But then I think that
I hope they go into hostage rescue.
But I'm gonna probably segue this. I don't know. I'm sorry if I do. Rainbow Six Siege.
Well, that's the next one.
Kind of was already doing that. Segue.
But we know they like to copy ideas. So
yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
I think
because Rainbow Six is doing it.
I think they're stupid if they don't go into some form of VIP hostage something. There should be one or two modes with that. Whether they deliver or not, I don't know. But that's what I'm excited about, honestly, is they've left themselves a lot of room for creativity. Whether they deliver on that and actually take advantage of it or not, I don't know. That'll be what decides whether I buy the game or not, probably.
It's always what you don't see that you're more curious about. Anyway.
Yeah, it probably is in this case. So let's move on then to Rainbow Six Siege. And as I adjust my pants, I don't know if you guys have not seen this trailer.
Who wears pants, man?
I need to be right now, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you haven't seen this, it's okay if you go away from this podcast to watch it. It is worthwhile. It is, and apparently, I've been told by the company, we've been told this is in-game actual play footage, gameplay footage.
In-game.
We've also been told by Golden Boy for the Win, who is the shoutcaster for the Battlefield 4 stuff, and I kind of talked to him on Twitter. It is legit. He's played it now himself. That's gameplay footage, which I don't even understand. I don't know. This game looks incredible.
It's apparently running on a modified version of Assassin's Creed engine, but the reason they can get away with all that stuff is it's much smaller.
Yeah.
It's not like a huge map like an Assassin's Creed game is. It's a small arena, and you can put tons and tons of destruction in there. It looks really cool.
It's one house, or one building, whatever else.
The thing that sold me, the walls were really neat, and the thickness to it's really great looking, but when they blew out the floor, I was like, all right, I'm on board now.
What sold me was
really cool idea.
The team play.
Yeah, that's
what I like the idea. It's like, in Battlefield, it's like 64 people. One guy can really go off and do whatever he wants, but
can you not
see
together 008 guys, getting in?
Dude, I can. It's going to be insane. I like that, though. You need to stick together, or else you're going to die. You're going to fail.
It looks like, Rainbow Six, that's kind of what it's done in the past in different ways, but it's definitely very tactical. So it looks like they're definitely bringing that feel to it. They're not just going, let's do all action or something.
Puppy looks excited. He's like, speak.
I gotta say,
he's vibrating in his chair.
He's still fixing his pants. He's gonna take the fedora off and put it under the desk.
No, I gotta say, to me, I might show my age a little bit here on this one, but to me, as soon as they started showing it, honestly, the first thought that went through my head as soon as they started showing that was, man, this looks a lot like Rainbow Six back for the N64, if anybody remembers that title. And then, you start to realize that it's it is kind of like that, and these people are playing together, and they're all real people. And then it is Rainbow Six. Oh, look at that! Yes!
Was it the first mission for the N64 when you actually had to breach a house?
You had to breach a house.
Yeah,
you had to breach a house. You had to make your plans. You had to coordinate your team. You're going to breach from here, and you're going to breach from here.
I love that. The pre-match stuff. The pre-match.
Yeah. The pre-game meta.
Setting the drones in and the snipers observing, and that to me is where it's like...
The one thing about the trailer that bothered me was actually that scene of the drone rolling through the house.
Well, yeah,
I was like, if anything looked a little pre-rendered and pre-recorded and just added in, was the woman looking directly at the drone like, help me.
Apparently that's not.
I see dead people.
It bothered me. It just looked like, out of everything else, she was the fakest thing in that gameplay footage. Everything else I loved, though.
Yeah, well, that was obviously set up and contrived, and you can't hide that ever. It always bleeds through, but I just thought it was really cool. You got a strategy of it. It's pure strategy. The gunfight is secondary, and that's what I thought was really
I love that.
Yeah, it was.
I love that one part that stuck out to me was that one the girl who was outside sniping, It's like she's completely outside, away
And she
from all
got
the
killed.
action, and that one guy is just running through the damn house like the freaking Velociraptor in Jurassic Park. It's like you hear, "God, I got killed," and it's like, "What the fuck? What?"
Didn't she
And I was
get
like, "That's
killed though?
awesome."
Didn't she?
Yeah, she got killed
So how did
right
she
towards
get
the
killed?
end. Because he went outside. Because like apparently it's not just the house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm
It's the
getting at.
backyard, the neighbor's house
a map.
across the
Yeah.
street. It's
That's
like
awesome.
it's
That's
an
to me.
arena, and I love that idea because I mean, probably
Every
will
match will be
back
different.
me up. Quake, Quake Arena. It's like I love those little arena things where it's like everyone has the chance to kill everyone, and it just determines.
I'll be that asshole on the
good you are.
team that's just gonna load up a shotgun every time and just go Leroy Jenkins and shred the fucking walls. Those walls.
I will do that too.
Those walls just evaporated. It was like I would just one man on a server, just walk around fapping.
Balls.
It was, I don't know. It looked incredible. And, you know, we're all a little like gun shy now. When you see something that looks so good, you're like, nah, it's not gonna look that good. no, you're not gonna get me.
But that aim, though.
Yeah. Well, there we go. I have this in here, don't I? Puppy? Yeah.
It depends
we'll
on
get
who's
that.
actually demoing it.
So I said in our doc, I don't know if you read it, I said the aim looked
I read it.
horrible. And I made a shot at console. It had to have been played on a console.
That looked like PC. That looked like PC. Someone who has no idea how to hold the mouse
Were
properly.
they using their
and-
mouth to move the mouse? It was like,
They were probably using the Kinect like I am. I don't know. It looked bad. That's
it was
all I
really
know.
bad.
It was bad.
Like it jarred out. Like,
Like
I was
balloon.
looking at. I was like, "Oh my god! Oh, what is he doing?"
I get where once you said that, Kulprit, I instantly knew what you were thinking. Is like, was he using a controller to
Yeah,
try
that's what I
and
meant,
to
not
do that?
console, but yeah.
And if he was using a controller, might that actually infer that a console could pull that off?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't have that thought, but that's a very good point.
But I don't honestly like. I'm already willing to accept that we're not going to get what we saw at E3 on
That
console.
fidelity, yeah.
That's not going to
No.
happen. You
Yeah.
forget about
I
it.
doubt PCs
I'm
will.
gonna say
I doubt PCs will.
Ubisoft especially.
Yeah,
Ubisoft, I don't trust them anymore.
that's definitely not going
which
to
we'll
happen.
get into later.
It was more. Yeah, it was more the panning of the aim. You know, the console guys are. The aim is always going like this. Like PCs, you know. But even for, I'm not taking a knock. This even looked bad for that. Like it was just like. It was like, what the hell?
I just hope
is
the
going
game
on?
is not that stiff. Like that's the one
That's
thing.
kind
It's
of
like,
was my
if-
point. Yeah.
Because that was my problem with Vegas. I felt Vegas was just a little too stiff for my liking, and it's like that was like I just nah.
Yeah, my problem is
Like, I could've
usually
aimed.
like it's a little too slow for my attention span and stiff. This doesn't seem slow at all. So
The pace is amazing.
I'm just looking for things to kind of bring up as negatives, really, and that was the one I think.
Yeah, aiming really.
And what do we got? You know, we got who put this in here? Puppy confirmed single player campaign and co-op, huh?
Yeah, I actually
Nice.
I was really interested in that, and I started tweeting at the devs, and I did not get a response, but I saw that somebody else I follow who is a active in IGN, an IGN guy, asked basically the same question and got a response that there is a confirmed single player and there will be a co-op on top of the multiplayer that we saw. So I don't like he said single player, co-op, and multiplayer. He didn't go into details. That's all it was, and it was in a tweet. So I'm assuming that if we're getting a co-op and a single player, obviously that means that there's going to be artificial intelligence
Yeah, just
in this. But
what's the point
wondering,
though? I
though.
mean, it's already like really small squad. I mean, I guess you just want to blow some things up, but
I'll say this with co-op, it's like you guys play the campaigns for first-person shooters. It's like what the hell does this computer-controlled squad do? Not a damn thing. They're just a liability. So I would like to see instead of being like a tacked-on co-op mode, something like Far Cry 3 had. It's like the co-op. It's like the campaign, but with co-op, so you can actually have competent people helping you throughout the entire story.
like a Borderlands type of thing.
Exactly, and like, we
Yeah.
could actually play it on the hardest difficulty and
I would-
possibly actually complete it. I would buy into that. Just
I
because
think they
like,
should
I
do
would
away
love
with
that.
single player campaigns altogether and just do co-op campaigns.
Well,
That would be
co-op
better.
seems to be the thing. I mean, look at Assassin's Creed. Look at Far Cry. It's like
I said
Division.
Skyrim.
Everything
Skyrim,
is becoming.
How is Skyrim still single player?
I
know,
Well,
I know.
Skyrim was
That's
started
not-
built way far ahead of time. That
I'm just saying.
maybe the next one will have it. You never know.
Yeah.
see, that's actually my thing too. Is when they mention the single player and the co-op is, what we saw. Obviously, there's not a lot of story behind it. And what we
She's in
saw.
distress.
What we saw previously, before we knew Rainbow Six Siege was going to happen, we had Rainbow Six Patriots, and that had, the trailers had a very clear and defined story to it. My question is though, are they actually going to be able to pull a story off? Because Rainbow Six, you can ask anybody that's played Rainbow Six. I played a lot of the Rainbow Six titles. I have not played Vegas 2. I skipped that one, but I played just about every other one. My favorite was Rainbow Six Lockdown. Just throwing that out there. But none of the campaigns and single players and stuff were very good. They just weren't good at all.
If it's like a story-based, like, 5-man squad of a SWAT team, I think it could work, because you have to focus on individual characters. That's what Patriots are going for. Patriots are going for that cinematic feel. Like, okay, there's this guy who's a normal, everyday guy who's got a bomb strapped to him, and you got to throw him off the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, okay, well, how do you live with that afterwards? That you can't just go on with this sectioned off gameplay. You have to
give me a campaign, not even
a campaign.
Here's a scenario, go beat it. Then here's another scenario. Here's I don't need this interwoven story, this love romance bullshit. No, just give me something to play about, and just I don't know, that's almost don't try too hard. Say, all right, you don't have any friends online right now. You don't want to play solo. You just want to kill some bots. Here, that would
be nice.
But I mean, hey, if they could do it epically, it could be an incredible a single player. But I just don't have a lot of confidence in people doing things epically anymore. But it would be good. I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, obviously, Hardline's a tangible thing for me now, so it doesn't really count for E3. And the next game we're going to talk about is so far off that I refuse to really acknowledge it.
Oh, God. I'm afraid.
So this would probably be my game, if we're going to get back to what I asked the chat at the beginning. It's probably my kind of, this is my 2013 Division. This is the game that came out of nowhere for me, and I'm holy hype, so I'm all about.
I'm suspicious about the Division.
Well, let's get into the Division. Excellent segue, Polly.
It's going to be
I only put it on a plate for you guys.
Let me put this out there. Apparently, at E3, Rainbow Six Siege was playable. The Division was not. Which is so crazy.
Well, it's funny.
They don't even let people play through the demo that they showed.
Polly, don't say these
Come on.
are true, man.
It looks too good. At this point with, Ubisoft, it's almost okay, yes, it looks awesome, but is it too good to be true, or is that what the game we're actually
yeah. I mean,
if we do, it's good.
It's delayed to 2015. How are you surprised by this?
Yeah.
How are you surprised?
This point it better be December of 2015 if they're even gonna try and get it out. And I think it's gonna be 2016 at this point. If they're still not showing it, not even anything, come on.
Yeah, obviously, I think all of I'm looking at the doc, and I put it in there, but none of you refuted. The first comment is too good to be true, question mark?
Yeah.
I think everybody has that question, and I think that's more than fair to ask, but my other one was, is this too ambitious to be true? Can they deliver on this?
Boy.
I mean, realistically, and I was about to say in this day and age, but the truth is they might not deliver it in this day and age, but...
Period.
Yeah, I don't know, I want to love this thing. I want to be all about this thing, but I just don't know if I can.
I'll say this: the Watch Dogs effect.
Well, yeah, I knew somebody was gonna say.
Yeah,
and it's don't get me wrong. Watch Dogs 2012. I mean, it got a standing ovation. I mean, what video game do you remember in recent memory at E3 gets a standing ovation at the end of a conference?
When your box in 2004 for the actual game shipped has quotes from the 2012 E3, there's problems here.
There is, and I feel I just hope that's not. It's going to be the case where what we're seeing is not going to look exactly like that unless we're on PC. But it's we know for a fact that this is not going to be at least on the X1 side and the PS4 side. This is not what we're going to be playing. And that
definitely not the X1 side.
But see, here's my thing too. I'm not even only caught up with the graphics. I mean, the graphics are incredible, but I'm not wowed by graphics very often. There's a certain level that once you get to that, I'm okay. I play Battlefield 4. I could get 120 frames on Ultra. I don't play on Ultra. I'm more interested in smooth and if there's an advantage to changing graphics. But I just like the concept of the Division. And I know they've come out now hard saying it's not an MMO, but I think they said that enough in the beginning that if you paid attention, you realize...
It's an RPG that happens to have some co-op aspects into it that are, not traditionally implemented, so that's kind of where the creativity comes.
PvP, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to be an MMO, say for
Well, they just don't want to be keyholed, or, confined to anything, which I'm okay with that.
That negative connotation that comes with the MMO.
Exactly what they're trying to get away from.
This and Destiny are trying to push up just as close to MMO.
I don't want to segue to that yet.
You're too soon, man.
They're both very similar in kind of like what they're doing in that we're not an MMO because there's a stigma to MMOs.
Yeah, there is.
Perceived stigma to MMOs.
It's like all these games, we're not a MOBA. We're not.
Yeah.
But we're free to play.
It's put on all these features that are very similar to it and get them right close to that line. We're not an MMO.
We're going to copy the hell out of all the MMOs, but yeah.
But at the same time, how do you not call yourself an MMO? It's like, okay, you just watch this group of 4 just take down this PvE segment, and then boom, another group of players like challenge them instantly to PvP. It's like you don't even get the accept or deny thing. It's like, how do you not call yourself an MMO when there's other players roaming around in your world? I mean, Grand Theft Auto, it's a shared, persistent online world. Of course,
well, that's what they're just going to come out with their own. They're going to come out with their own acronym, and it's going to mean exactly the fucking same, but it's just going to be different. And it's, I mean, and Bumbles, you're close to me. How cool is it? This is Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens. That's what I feel like. I'm a little homer on this. Like I'm just like, yeah. If anybody stream caps that, I'm going to kill him.
Oh gosh. The whole thing with the first trailer they showed back in 2013, it's like I've never really been to Brooklyn. I have friends and family friends out in Brooklyn, and it's like I know what the bridge looks like. I think everyone's seen the bridge destroyed in one form or another in like Cloverfield and I Am Legend, whatever. But when they showed Manhattan, because I never drive into the city. Every time I drive into the city, I get a ticket. So it's like, I'll just take the train in. And it's like, I always come out at Penn Station. That's at Madison Square Garden. I just remember seeing that and the post office, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, they got the streets.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, it's... I'm not expecting an accurate representation.
Dude, I'll be in there and be like, guys, we need to heal up. I know a good bar about 2 blocks away.
Like, dude, Wicked Willie's is right down the street. Bleeker's right around the corner.
It looked incredible. So, I don't know. I think everybody's high in this game, but everybody's a little skeptical.
I'm just wondering how much is actually going to be accessible, because at the end of the 2013 trailer, they zoom out on the map, and it's like you see Brooklyn, you see a little bit of Queens, and you see the Bronx, and you see a little bit of Manhattan. But it's like, it'd be really cool to see, and this is just because I'm a Yankees fan. Sorry, Kulprit. Either of the stadiums, actually, Yankee Stadium or even Citi Field.
They should have a stadium in there. I think that's fair. Like, that would be cool.
Like possibly a evac site, like where everyone who's like,
comes. I think that would be a
I'm just interested to see how vast the world is, because with these open world games.
Well, I know there was like, they had the clans on there as it zoomed out. There was definitely populated in Manhattan. It was definitely Brooklyn and Queens. I don't know about the Bronx though, but I mean that's not really a big leap. And you know what they'll probably do? No. Well, I guess if they're going for authenticity, they wouldn't just stick a stadium somewhere. But
no, they would just put it in the middle of Manhattan.
I do feel the need to point out that I actually saw a tweet from the Division in which they mentioned that you will need to upgrade your gas mask in order to access more infected parts of the available map, which leads me to believe that there is a form of progression to the game. Yeah. In which, like, okay, that's a high-level area. I cannot go there yet. In which case,
Long Island.
Dark Zone. I think, Strong Island.
Division, the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Well, you look at, they call it Dark Zones. They refer to them as, I believe. And it's going to be like, that's where the virus is probably most heavily
everybody's dead.
Situated.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's like, if you walk there, guess what? You're going to be infected. And I don't.
I hate this. I want to go and catch up on the lore, but I've purposely been avoiding it.
Well, I'll break it down for you real quick. It's infection.
I know that much.
Biological agent is released on Black Friday. I mean, that's a genius idea. Terrorist, don't you dare be watching. It's a genius idea in the grand scheme of it all. And it's supposedly before it becomes a pandemic, so you're trying to suppress it. You only get food enough for 3 days, and you have to go scavenging. I like the idea of it all, and
I love the concept.
Really, the concept's phenomenal. It's there. It's like, can they pull it off?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Even if they just pull off a little core part, and they like it's good, it's there, and then they for 10 years they just keep expanding off it. I'm cool with that, but like here's my thing. I think they need to simmer down with the hype. Like they got to realize that like. You don't get a pot boiling and just keep boiling the motherfucker. You chill out and you simmer and you let it just... Like they just keep like pouring gasoline on this fire, and they gotta look at Watch Dogs. They just kept hyping the hell out of this thing, and they elevated expectations so high that there was nothing left but to disappoint. This game is not close to release. They need to chill out.
I'll say this. They always... I remember at the end of E3 2013, it's like... online multiplayer open world. It's like that's what was under the name of the division. If it's going to be this persistent online thing, you gotta have a dang beta. Like, you can't just go out there with this game where you're trying to make it a multiplayer online focused thing where this is like, hey, in order to play this, you have to be connected to the internet, and then say, okay, well, there's not going to be a beta. You're going to just spend $60 and just trust our word on this. Cause
there'll be something, whether it's open, to the public or not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, the hype train has no brakes. That's the problem. Is that people don't seem to understand that kind of letting the imagination fill in the blanks is good sometimes, and we don't. They're really good at hype.
They are really good at that.
I'm not taking away. I'm not saying what they're not doing is good. It's phenomenal, and like I mean, just for entertainment, I can watch those trailers. Not even to get hype. Like, yeah, it's not just the game.
I enjoy it.
Their trailers and their marketing is phenomenal right now.
I just enjoy what they're doing with the game,
I mean.
too. Like, one of the things I mentioned on the forums, the HUD. It's like that's the thing that people love or hate.
The whole tablet thing, though, can just stop.
The second screen thing is going to be a bigger thing.
That's what they all thought. We'll see. But
well, it still is. I mean, Watch Dogs is still pushing it.
They're pushing it. Nobody's doing it, though.
Yeah, nobody uses it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a gimmick.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, I don't know. Like, they could stop pushing it to me. Like, let's focus on the core. But
it'll end. It'll end at a certain point once they realize that it's like, okay, it's a free download. Are we getting anything from that?
Hey, hey, asshole, why don't you get off your tablet and go to your PC and actually help us out here? It's like, come on. All right, so since Polly kind of prematurely segued us, are we good on the division?
I wasn't segueing, I was prepared.
There's unfortunately not. I mean, I would do a whole podcast on this game. I really would. I don't know that there's really a lot of meat to talk about on Destiny. Sorry, Division. But we keep our eye on it, obviously.
Save it till we have more news, I think.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one.
But I think
that'll be a really
definitely
good one.
deserves a mention because they're just so good at hyping. Let's talk about Destiny. I moved this one.
I'm gonna go get a beer real quick.
All right. Well, yeah. Then I'll hurry back because I think this is your wheelhouse. I think I was obviously I knew Destiny. It was on my radar, but I didn't think it was very much of a me game. Now, since this alpha's come out, and of course everybody's flooding your inboxes with this stuff, I gotta say I like the looks of it. I was impressed. I tweeted out that this is the first next gen game that I think I've seen. Like I think the graphics look really good, and I'm not a guy that's typically impressed by graphics, but I'm interested now. I'm intrigued, so I'm gonna pay a little more attention. You guys are all laughing at the same time, and I'm not looking at chat. It makes me nervous.
They're making fun of Bumble saying he needs a seatbelt.
Sit
down! Stop moving.
Don't put me on a leash.
I will kick off the Destiny by saying,
sir.
Honestly, man, okay, when we first heard about this at the last E3, I think it was, I got excited. I was like, oh, wait, Bungie. I love Bungie. They made the Halo 1 and Halo 2. Yeah!
Activision.
And they're making an MMO RPG first-person shooter, so I'm thinking, PlanetSide 2, mind blown. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And then I watched in-game footage during this last E3, and I felt like somebody just took a 50 cal sniper rifle and shot my little balloon of dreams, and it just splattered everywhere, because that was the most disappointing thing I think I have ever seen. It looked like a Halo game.
So tell me, I have no idea what you're talking about. So tell me.
It looked just like a Halo game, which to me, all right, Bungie making a game that looks like Halo? What? Okay. All right.
I'm with you on that.
But it turns out it's not an actual MMO. It's doing the same thing that everyone else seems to be doing here lately with the drop-in, drop-out multiplayer, and it's not true MMO, which to me is a little disappointing because I think more people need to be heading towards the open world and the MMO style games.
It's all buzzwords.
To me, that's not really a buzzword. Like, to me, MMO is like, that means that everyone's in the same game. You're not in like your own
world,
separate.
They're just trying to cram all.
Yeah,
it's like a YouTube video.
They will say though that like Destiny's not an MMO. Like, so that's to me, if it's a buzzword, they're shooting it down. But I watched the gameplay and I was so disappointed. It looks great. It does look great. And something that kind of renews my faith a little bit is I actually saw, and if you see this Scanner, I love you, bro. I don't mean anything too mean by this. But Scanner actually says he likes it. Now, I've never
Makes you uncomfortable.
I've never heard Scanner say that about a game. So I was impressed, and I was like, well, if Scanner likes this, maybe I'll give it a try. So that's my two
has been
cents.
kind of
No, that's not bad. Like, why would you apologize? You're just saying you're shocked that, yeah.
I think the problem with Destiny so far to this point has been how do you show it? Because it has so many different aspects and parts to it that trying to show it in a 5 or 10 minute demo at E3 just isn't going to happen from like last year. And even this year, you look at it, what I've gotten sold on by is they put the alpha out.
Yeah.
Or what they're calling an alpha.
It's like level 8 or something you can go to.
Yeah, you can get up to level 8. They've got a lot of stuff. They don't have everything in there, but yeah. People have been playing that and putting up videos of that online, so you get more of an idea of the big picture of kind of what.
Tell me somebody's done a Let's Play of this. Have they really? Somebody has to have done a Let's Play to level 8.
It's mostly been a lot of character creations, like the basic how-tos, how to shoot your gun. I mean, that's level cap.
Well, there's got to be. There's marketing campaigns behind those, then I bet.
Yeah, I think it's just right now for me. Like Puppy said, that I remember I was actually saying in the chat, like in the Company 008 chat, I'm like, I need to see more than just a trailer. I mean, I was actually kind of bummed that they led with a trailer at the Sony conference. That I'm like, I want to see some gameplay. I want to see like a 15-minute long extravaganza. And it's like Puppy's like, hey man, there's gonna be like gameplay on IGN. And I'm like, oh cool. And I'm sitting there like, I'm just all like smiles, and then it's like 3 minutes in, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah,
like
super
pre-recorded PvP. It's not even live PvP.
Yeah, that's what they're showing at E3.
Matches.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see the PvE. I want to see the co-op. I want to see 3 guys taking on this huge-ass spider-looking thingy, and I want to see like what.
Well, have you looked at the alpha footage that is out there?
That's why YouTube is good. That's what YouTube is good for. Yeah, I agree. I think YouTube is the way to show this game.
To me, this game looks very much like, with a few differences, Halo Borderlands.
I was going to say Borderlands. It jumps off at me at Borderlands.
Better be Borderlands.
Some of the stuff they've talked about, there's like a big kind of hub area that it'll be more like an MMO where everybody will kind of publicly be. But then you have all of your other areas that are not. That are more like just instance to you kind of a thing. But that's where, you know, you're going to be able to do the PvP stuff and all that things ties to your same character. You don't have different things. So I think that's a little bit weird to wrap your mind around for some people, because they're showing all this stuff in pieces. They haven't showed Destiny as a whole package yet, so it's a little hard to figure out
what is the target date for this. This is how big. This is how much.
Soon. October.
Yeah,
Something.
Fall.
September. It is September.
It's like I forgot the date off the top of my head.
Okay.
Public beta is July 17th, but that's for PS4 players. They get it earlier.
You get it like 3 days earlier.
That is my question.
Then we get it on the full.
Is this gonna be like? I mean, again, this was so far off. It was on my radar, but I was not paying attention. Obviously, it's PS4, right? I know it is going to be on the other platforms, but do we know?
On every platform.
There's some weird marketing deal, I think, with Sony. They're really pushing it, kind of how like Call of Duty people think is you know, associated with Xbox. Right. It's kind of, but it's elsewhere too.
But is it all going to be released at the same time?
Yes, the game comes out at the same time. The difference is that PlayStation 4 gets a few extra exclusives, like extra gameplay.
So it's going to be PC, Xbox, and PS4.
No PC.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. That's the information I'm not sure about. So it's the two consoles.
Both Xbox and One and 360, PS3 and 4. So there are kind of last gen versions of it.
It's technically built on the previous generations.
Now they've said it's going to be on PC. They just haven't said any details beyond that. I thought they had.
People have just sort of assumed it, and they've kind of winked in and nod, saying, "We'd like to, but we're not going to be seeing it until."
Because Bungie made Halo PC.
Didn't the Division do that too? They announced for something, and they made you sign a petition for something, and it was.
Yeah, the Division was like that. They didn't announce for PC, and then now after a bunch of people were doing petitions and stuff, then they said, "Yes, okay, we'll do it."
Yeah.
I don't think the petitions did it for the Division. I think they more or less just said the PC is the only platform this game's going to work on.
We've got to build it to show it off anyway, so we might as well release this, right?
Apparently there is no PC.
As of right now, there's no official PC announcement.
So unofficially, but they've had kind of like winking nod comments here and there.
Because I definitely have
they'll do it. I think they have to do it.
I don't know.
I think it's more of a scope issue that they have so many, things that they're trying to juggle, that trying to do
so
another version on top of all the stuff that they're already doing.
This will end up being a GTA 5. where it's going to be like...
Yes.
Thank you, Bumbles. You see what I'm doing here?
I was trying to do that too.
I'm actually going to just ask, before we do that though, probably with this giant bomb link, you've now linked it to me twice, I think. So I'm going to just put it in chat because apparently it's good. I haven't watched it.
I like Giant Bomb for their videos.
I love Giant Bomb.
They do high bit rate, so the videos look much better than, say, YouTube or even other like websites. But they do kind of quote-unquote quick look stuff for the longest time that's all like half hour long. Yeah. This is they started doing what they call unfinished, which is kind of the same thing, but for, pre-release games or, early release stuff on Steam.
Or something, early access.
So they have like about, I think it's an hour and 15 minutes of the alpha that they played before E3 technically, because they got early access to it.
I just did link that in the chat if you guys are interested. I haven't watched it. I will watch it tomorrow.
If you're curious on how good, the graphics look and stuff, you can do that quickly. And if you're curious on some of the moving parts, they go into character creation stuff and some loot, and they're, going through on the couple missions and all sorts of stuff.
As a YouTube, I definitely think this is a YouTube wheelhouse game. Like, you cannot show this in an article, in a trailer, or whatever. So this makes you kind of proud to be like, this is where YouTube fits in. Like, this is what's going to sell that game. It's going to be the level, whoever it is your favorite YouTuber you like, gonna get a free copy, gonna play it, and he's gonna get X amount of people to buy it because of how we played it, and that's how it works, and that's fine with me, and that's what's going to get me to buy it. If you're telling me it's not on PC, that's a much bigger sell than. But I'm waiting for that console to make me go, maybe,
Nintendo.
Well, see, I think Wii U is going to happen at some point.
It's gonna.
Just because my kids, my son, he's all about the DS, Mario Kart. I just got him, Super Mario Legends, or whatever the hell the DS one is, he's got his pre-K graduation coming up next week, so I was like, yeah. I just look for excuses to buy him games, basically. But eventually, he's fully content with the DS right now, but I'm a gamer. That is going to end. He's going to be like, wait, what?
I think we can touch upon the Wii U definitely towards the end with everything that's on the dock. I mean,
if I get a Wii U,
I do want to talk. I do want to talk about the Wii U though.
But we did sort of segue into GTA, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. I mean, we don't have to cover it too much because I think we're all like beating each other around in the dock here. So. What is it? What was announced exactly? Grand Theft Auto 5 to PC, Xbox One, and PS4 in the fall, right? That's what they officially announced. Which is, I'm still, I don't know why it took so long, but whatever.
And they officially announced that it will be in 1080p on the current gen consoles.
I don't pay attention. I mean, really? That's news. Actually, you know what? That is news. Frankly, and how many frames, sir? 30.
They did not say the frames.
They did not say.
Okay. They did not say the frames, which leads me to believe that it's 30.
But they did say bigger draw distances, new wildlife, and all new traffic patterns.
You would think that would be assumed from a toaster.
Yeah, but new wildlife? I mean, what
is that? Yeah, I did see that quote somewhere else.
New breed of coyote or something? It's like, I run over enough of them in the game as it is. I don't need any more to worry about.
I will say this, and this is quasi off topic, but since we're talking about GTA 5 and its resolution and frame rate, I will say this: I wish that more game developers would push the frames per second versus the resolution. We have everyone that's like, 900p, we got it up to 900p 30 frames, or 1080p 30 frames. Give me 720p if you have to. Just give me 60 frames.
I would pick 720, 60 over 1080, 30 any day. Well, that's true.
With shooters, I'll take the 60 any day over the 30. I think like Division, I can settle with Division. Because I think they put Division, I mean, we're backtracking a little with this, but Division, they've actually said it's locked on both consoles at 30 frames per second, which is okay. It's a third person.
That's a different That's a different shooter too, yo. Yeah, it's a cover-driven third person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
with first person like Battlefield. 60, I want. I want first person with Battlefield and Call of Duty.
I've gotten to the point where if it's below 80 frames, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, like, and I'm not trying to be. It's not like you get used to what you play with, and it's. I guess it goes the other way. I guess if you're used to 30, you don't notice. And if everybody else is on 30, I guess that whole playing field thing, another podcast. But
another one.
So, Bobby, what's this? Still no heists? Really?
There's still no heists. Dude, we still don't have heists. I have officially played
this is
Battlefield 4 Hardline heists before I played GTA 5 heists, a game that came out, what? Are we talking a year and a half old now? Or is that how old?
No, I don't know. Not even a year.
No. It's going to be a year.
It's been out for ages, and we still don't have heists.
Well, when they heist,
why?
Yeah.
You know what?
But it's not that hard to do.
I was
at this point, At this point, I honestly wish they would have just never released the game. Just hold on to it until you have it all. Yeah. Because I am not gonna. Okay, there's some guys in here that I play with on 360, and I play GTA 5 with them on 360, and I've told these guys if they come out with heists, I will pop back in my 360 and I will play with you guys once heists come out, but not before then because I'm bored of the game outside of heists.
You play the hell out
But
of it.
Here is what I'm worried about. I don't think heists are coming before the next game comes out, the next gen, or the current gen, I should say.
Yeah.
I think current gen will come out with heists. I don't think heists is going to come out before then. I think they'll go, heists with the new games.
Oh, yeah, no, that's going to be the double... That's what's going to get you to double dip.
And to me, when that happens, I'm really sorry to say this to my old friends, but I'm going to be picking up GTA 5 for the next-gen system, 100%. The current-gen system, and I will be shelving... I will be shelving my 360. It will no longer turn on.
I won't even have it. It will be a GameStop. I'll trade it in.
Yeah, I don't think you need to apologize for anybody.
I'm giving my 360 to my kids, so it will still turn on. But I will not be playing it.
Who wouldn't make that choice?
I've always thought. Go ahead, Pop.
I was just saying, I bought it on PS3. I played it. I don't even remember where I played it till. But then I was like, okay, I'm done here. Like, I want to keep going with the story. I loved it. I had a blast. But, like, it was part of me, I couldn't record it, couldn't share it, and that's a huge part of my gaming life now. And the aiming to me just drove me nuts. So I was like, this was back when the rumors were that it was going to come to PC in, like, December, or maybe it was, like, February or whatever. So I was like, I'll just chill. Here we are. So, yeah, I'm double dipping. There's no doubt about that. Like,
I'm double dipping. I'm double dipping.
Like you're saying, like you made me wait an extra year to get this, and now I'm still not getting heists. Are you kidding me?
I'll say this: I played the beta for the heist. They somehow accidentally left it unlocked to be able to play it, and if you do like step by step this thing, it's 1 gold brick. Like you breach a freaking bank with 3 security guards, hack the system for 1 gold brick, and I'm like, it's $75K per person, and I'm like, okay, but when you go outside of the bank, guess what? There's no cops waiting for you. You just drive on over to the drop-off point. Done deal. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously this is a beta or like a test version of it, of course, but at the same time, I expect a little better when the full game, it's like, you're stealing from a jewelry store. You're stealing from a private military company. You're stealing from... spoilers, my bad. You're stealing gold from the Federal Reserve. It's like, okay, well, we're going to break into a bank for a single gold brick and then see how that works. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's different. It's a complete change of pace from the simple, okay, go kill these people, go grab this item, and then wait for, like, 20 vehicles to come down on your position. And it's like, it's the same thing over and over again. And I feel like I've always been in the camp that heists are going to come out with next gen at the same time. I'm just like, why? Like, just give us story DLC. But I mean, that's my thing.
What do we think is the holdup? It's not
next gen. Next gen. That's what
I think they've been porting everything, and they put it. That's the only.
It's spring. Spring was supposed to be the release of Heist. We got the High Life update. Great. Heist was supposed to come out in spring. It's now summer. I mean, forgive me.
Well, they're not going to release anything in summer, even if it were ready right now.
No,
sit on it.
It's coming out with the official announcement of next gen.
So we think it's going to come out in the fall with.
Yeah, it's going to come out alongside.
So, Bobby, what the hell are you talking about in this document then?
What do you mean?
You're just saying as of today, no heists, but we think it's going to come.
No, I added that at the end. That was me.
Oh, I see your comment here.
2 hours ago.
All right, so hold on a second. Let me reassess because I misunderstood this. So. All right, it's going to come to next year. My God, this whole gen thing. Jesus.
It's current gen. It is current gen.
And PC are coming in the fall. We've got that. That's confirmed. We think they are also going to co-launch Heist on everything in the fall.
Because it would make sense just from a marketing perspective.
Everyone has it. It's fair.
And it's going to cause those guys that have since upgraded to double dip. Okay, all right, I got that. I thought he meant the heists, and I misread your comment, Puppy, that heists are not even coming then. So that
no,
they're
okay.
Well, then we haven't got them yet.
Yeah.
Well,
the only way I won't double dip, and this is just because for me personally, and anyone else who is in this position, I bought that $150 collector's edition for the extra online content, the extra in-game content, extra guns and everything that only you get. Right now, it's not even certain that stuff's going to even transfer over to next gen, and it's like I refuse, because like right now, actually, if you go on to the GTA online store and look at the collector's edition, like feature package, it's $500 American, and I'm like, there's no way in hell anyone in their right mind has paid $500 American for a Desert Eagle pistol. If you have, I feel sorry for you. But it's like, if this doesn't get transfer over, I might not double down right off the bat. I mean, sure. I don't want to do another $150 collector's edition. $300 for one game on 2 different consoles?
I just can't. I mean, I can't wait. I feel like I'm like been frozen in time here. I'm dying to play this. And it's possibly my favorite game of the last. Like, I had a blast on PS3, and I was playing single player by myself. So I can't wait the whole idea online and playing with. I've seen you guys' videos and stuff. I just.
Do you remember the Cannonball Run? I mean, I would love to do that again now that we've actually have it created.
And then
at the same time,
then we get into mods and all that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, that's the big thing. I remember the PC community was very vocal about mods, and it's like, oh, well, we got the mod support. We can make the mods, and it's like
Rockstar hates mods.
I know. Yes, and the online portion now, especially because it's this persistent world where. It's not just like, okay, it's team deathmatch. Oh, it's a small free roam. It's like everything, the lobby is the free roam. I don't think they're going to want to see people like shooting rockets out of a freaking MAC-10 anymore. I mean, that was fun, don't get me wrong, but I mean, the mod support is going to be there. Will Rockstar kind of be like, okay, here's some tools? I don't know.
How much are they going to let them go with it? Yeah. It's going to be like paint skins on cars and stuff like that, or is it going to be... Yeah, right.
Or is it going to be what they're doing now, like with the hacked...
Why don't they give mod tools? Let the motherfuckers make some heists. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just like... I don't know. It's like... I think it's kind of shady that they made the other I kind of get PC, but like, why did you make the next gen... Like, I clearly thought they only released on... I guess it's old gen now, to get people to buy twice. That's literally why I thought it was. But then they made him wait so long. I'm like, I just what are you doing there? Like, what is going on? Like,
that was always my theory, though, that it was going to be once next gen gets it, whether next gen comes out in the summer.
Yeah, that would be like 3 months, something like that.
In 5 years from now, it's like it's gonna happen when everybody has it, along with PC, because the PC community with that like 700K petition signing.
I think the real reason that they're waiting till fall to put GTA 5 out on the current gen is so that the user base is even higher, because they've sold quite a bit through this point, and there'll be a ton more consoles selling in the fall with all the new games coming out that they can sell more, which is why they waited, because if they put it out earlier, they might not have sold as many. Whether right or wrong,
right,
I
if
think
it's just
that's
numbers on a paper, right?
Yeah.
My only dispute with that theory is that this coming fall, anyway, we have so many good games that are coming out that so many people are looking at getting. I mean,
I did it purposely.
I know personally I'm looking at dropping like some $360, $400 on just games this fall. I know you PC guys are like, me.
I'll 30, 40 bucks. I get the same games. It's okay. Go ahead, puppy. Carry on.
Steam.
Yeah, I get it. But I like my consoles. So leave me be. Some of those might be PC games, though. You know, we'll see.
Don't tease me. So how much money am I going to spend on your PC games that you don't play? Let's get that out of the way right now. Actually, I didn't spend any money on it, but no, I should look you up right now and see how many minutes you played on that, you scumbag. And you got a code on that account before I got on my main account.
I know Juan's going to bring it up. I got to build my PC eventually. I've been delaying that for too long.
Well, let's just talk about Puppy. You're not the case, but if anybody's thinking about spending $300-$400 on games, let's just kind of maybe reassess that situation and think about investing that elsewhere. That would be my recommendation, but
get yourself a car. I don't know. Oh wait, oh shit, damn! I feel like an asshole now. I'm sorry, pup.
No, I was gonna say a PC.
I just done goofed.
All right, so I don't know. We're all high on GTA. Where the hell is it? Is my thing. I'm tired of waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love it, man. Don't worry. I
might get GTA eventually in a Steam sale for $10.
I'll buy it full price.
I'm not huge on GTA.
I'll say this, man. It's like I I hated 4. I thought 4 took itself too seriously. It was a complete departure from what the series was. Yeah. 5 was like, this is what GTA is about.
And playing with friends.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was it? A couple weeks ago, it was me, Hardvark, Egg Roll, Blue Jeans. We got into like one of those Hollywood tour vans, and we were just driving around, mowing people down as we drove past. And it's like, that's the whole point of GTA, to go around with your friends, kill a bunch of people, maybe in the process shoot each other. And there were times back when the game first came out, like Puppy was knocking people in the head with a damn 9-iron, and that was like, it was frustrating.
But I do worry that like me on we won't have that feeling. Like, you guys are discovering things, like, so there won't be that same. But that's why I stopped playing the game on PS3, because I was just like, you know what, I finish this game, and then I'm gonna be really like, do I buy it on no, I want it on PC. I want to play it, and like I said, the aiming kind of bugged me, so I was like, I'm just gonna stop now. and
well, did you do free aim, or did you do like the slight assisted aim, a classic GTA aim?
I don't even remember at this point, but any assist is just you click the button, click the button, click the button, click the next target. It's like, come on now. It just drove me nuts. But no, it was also just I knew I did want it on PC. I'm not like knocking either one. I just wanted it on, so I could record, so I could play with other, that idea. And I was like, so either I'm finishing this game, and then I was like, I'm just gonna stop. I didn't think it was gonna be a year later that I would get it on PC. It's just like, what was it? Well, I'm not even gonna bring up the name of the game, because that's a whole.
So real quick, I just want to make sure. Like, would you double dip or no?
Oh, I'm totally on. I'm full price double dipping that thing. That was like a demo to me. Like, this isn't even double dipping. I was always going to buy it on PC. The PS3 was a little extravagance that I just did on a rainy day that I just needed something to do. Which, God, those days don't come out very often. Thankfully, because I'd be broke. Let's move on to another game. This one you guys are going to have to carry here. No Man's Sky. Now, I
can do that.
Yeah, well, because
my game of the show.
You added this, and I knew this game. I remember this was E3 last year, right?
This was like the Game Trailers, Game Awards, like a year and a half ago or something.
Oh, that long ago? Because I remembered it. When I watched it, I remembered it.
They put like a trailer thing out for it. It looked really cool. Everyone went crazy on it, and they're like, "What is this thing?" Like, the idea of what you guys are trying to do with this is nuts. And then it went away for a while. It's a really small team. I think 10 people are working on this. Their offices flooded. There was like a chance they weren't even going to finish the game, and then Sony kind of came in and they got an exclusivity deal. Like, they saved some of their files. Sony gave them some money, so that's kind of the only reason the game still exists, which is why it's PS4 and PC to start with.
I was gonna like do some research, like an actual show effort. I watched the trailer, and I figured it would make a decent discussion. Puppy and Bubbles, I don't know where you stand on the spectrum, but what the hell is this? Like, is this like? It
is like they're not showing like everything that's supposed to be in there yet.
Meets, I don't even know.
It's a procedurally generated
or was
universe.
It Spawn or something like?
No, it's a procedurally generated universe where
you
it's
discover
a big, giant open world. Everybody starts their own planet. You have procedurally generated, terrain, creatures, environments, ships. You can just explore, run around, gather, resources. So there's probably going to be some sort of crafting, they've said, although they haven't shown that yet. They have said there's going to be kind of an antagonistic force out there as well. So if you want to go and do a bunch of combat, you can. But the big thing is it's all seamless. There's not going to be any loading screens. You can just jump in your ship, fly into outer space, maybe encounter a battle, get into a fight, fly to another planet, go down to that surface. It's completely different. And
infinite, they called it.
It's infinite, supposedly.
Right? That's what it seems
like. The trailer is really cool, but I've seen
Minecraft with space.
The guy, a little bit, sort of, just from the procedurally generated aspect of it. And what they've said something is like everybody starts on their own planets, and they're going to start everybody kind of at the outer edges of the galaxy, and then part of what you might want to do is go towards the center, and there's going to be all sorts of other things to do in there. They're not showing all of it or talking about all of it.
But they haven't even shown much.
They've said, no, they haven't really shown much at all. They've talked about
LSD trip.
Yeah, and they've the guy who's kind of behind it, that's his baby.
I'll put the trailer in the guy.
Has shown. I've watched a couple interviews with him. And he said that the way they're testing this is they've put AI bots into this and they spawn all over the universe, and they like kind of take pictures, like animated GIFs, and they have a viewer that they can zoom in on it and look at stuff kind of individually, look at half a dozen at a time, or they can zoom out and look at thousands of these at once to kind of get an overall picture to make sure that yes, things are generating differently. Because he like told a story of like he was testing something with the skies, and he's like, all these skies I'm seeing are blue. Are they all blue? And then he like went to their little system, zoomed out, and was like, okay, no, because it's just the scope of what they're trying to do with a 10-man team is crazy. So like, I really want them to pull this off, because if they can't, this is going to be insane, and it's going to be next gen in concept as well.
Like I almost don't even care about playing this game. Like I almost want to see the technology. Like
the plays are cool. Like the technology behind it is cool. Like just the audacity of what this tiny team is trying to pull off.
Really not much.
These huge teams that pull off these other games, it's just like
well, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. But like, so there's not much game there. It's like they're creating a world and a sandbox in essence. And
yes, it's a giant. They've described it as sandbox. They've described it as worlds like that. It's very much.
What if they like mixed like,
in there and
online with this? I'm just trying to.
Like people have asked about that, and they're saying it's not going to be like Eve with
I would hope not.
Lots of people getting into it, economy, and all that stuff that Eve has. It's not that. And in fact, they've said that
game, really,
running across other players is even going to be a rare event unless you're actually trying to find people and get there, because everyone's literally light years apart.
It was a game that just.
I mean, they're big talk right now. It could just all fall apart and be nothing. But
I've seen a lot of hype on it. And
that's with every game, though.
There's nothing out there that's like this, which is cool. I think the concept is completely different. It's completely unique.
Like I'm already thinking about the technology then being taken and built upon.
Take something else.
Yeah, that's what I'm already thinking of. Because
like so much stuff you can do with it.
I don't know much. My biggest concern with No Man's Sky right now is, I mean, from what we've seen, this game looks like probably the hands down the absolute best exploration game we have ever witnessed.
It's real life exploration.
Yeah, it's like real life exploration in a game, and they cut out some of the parts to where it's a little bit more feasible. You can do it in a lifetime, because obviously we can't go to the center of our galaxy in a lifetime. That's just not going to happen. So they make it to where it's a game, and you can do these things. My biggest concern right now is why? Why are you going to do whatever it is you're going to do? Okay, right now, the biggest thing that we can equate this to right now is Minecraft. I know it's not a Minecraft, and that is not a fair comparison. But like as it stands right now, we have Minecraft, and in Minecraft, what do? You build houses, you build structures, you build pictures, you build things, and you explore while you're building. Maybe you're not a builder guy and you just want to explore, but even people that just want to explore eventually are going to build something. And my thing is, with No Man's Sky, all they've shown you that you get to keep is your ship, and you can upgrade your ship, but beyond your ship, what else are you going to be able to do? Can I do something beyond that?
So far, and maybe there's other stuff they're holding back that they want to put in there, but they're not sure if they can implement it yet. Who knows? And this could be years and years away.
They're probably not even sure.
It's a tiny team, so I'm sure it's changing as they go.
I don't want to be the pessimist, but it's like all we've seen both times from No Man's Sky is just a character making his way to a ship, getting in the ship, and then taking off, and that's it. We have not seen any type of gameplay, any kind of encounters, any kind of building or crafting. There is nothing we have seen outside of the whole, okay, you're on a world,
it's a concept.
You fly away. I would like to see a little bit more before I start saying, take my money. Because
absolutely.
I think
as beautiful as the game is, just not like right now with what we've seen. If this game was announced for April or May 2015,
I think what they're trying to do,
I wouldn't put my money to it.
No, I would not.
They need to get the underlying tech in there, I think, for generating it first, and then add all that in. And since they're such a tiny team, it's just taking.
I almost feel like
the flood too. It probably limited them to what they were able to do in time.
More than a game, they almost have an engine. I think they're going to make their money almost on licensing this to game creators, and that's not a bad thing or anything. But I think
even if it's just what they've shown now, and all you could do is just fly from planet to planet and look at stuff, I would totally play this game. Right. The sci-fi nut in me would love it.
I would just like something to do, though. It's like with Minecraft, like Puppet.
Why can't you stack this on Minecraft? Mesh this with Minecraft, and you're done. Like,
here's a base or something.
But we, like I suppose,
or what is he? Space engineers or something? Yeah.
Yeah, build a space station. Build all sorts of stuff.
With Kerbal?
Something like Kerbal, yeah.
Kerbal's fun.
Here's my thought on their game right now, and with this small dev team, this is part of why I'm feeling this way, and I don't understand why they haven't done this yet, at least not that I've seen, and Paulie, you're a little bit more familiar with this dev team. I'm not too caught up on the dev team myself, but I am wondering why they don't just, I mean, clearly the game's already being made, but why don't they just Kickstarter this and give people closed alpha access like we're seeing with Star Citizen and a lot of other games like that? Because I think if they started doing that, they would be able to finance maybe expanding their dev team a little bit and getting this game really a great deal more on track.
How much does Sony own?
I'm not sure why they haven't done that. Maybe it's the thing of they want a base first and then they might go that route, or maybe that's what they planned and then Sony stepped in and say, hey, we'll give you money, so now they don't have to. Well, I don't know what the story is on that.
Yeah, Sony would want that.
Sony probably sees this as...
But I mean, the developer has a history with Sony. They've done stuff with them before in the past, so...
Same time, look at Kickstarters. I mean, Kulprit. This might grind your gears a bit. But DayZ, look at that Kickstarter.
That was a game I almost brought up before, and I said I'm not going to do that.
No, I mean I don't want to talk on it because we get a whole podcast on that.
We
probably
might talk about that on the next one. I'm going to wait until the dust settles on that before I go.
No, I think with kickstarting No Man's Sky, it's like they already have what they want. They have the basis. They have the foundation. It's
I just feel like that's a game that should come with mod tools.
Yeah, have they shown us yet? I'm waiting for them to show us what we can do in the game instead of walk around, hop in a ship, travel planets. That's what I think we're waiting for still.
And I bet they want to show you, they just don't have it quite yet. Yeah, trying to get they're getting the basics, they're getting the fundamentals, and then show you the rest of it.
It's like,
that's what I'm hoping.
The almighty CGI trailer. It's like, here, we got this game.
Well, that's not a CGI trailer.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm saying it's like the same principles as it. Like, okay, hey, this game is real, and here's some proof, but there's no gameplay.
We just don't know what to do with it. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. We got about 15 minutes left. You know, for show proper, we can always go a little longer post-show. I like to kind of keep it 2 hours. So
I'm going to last game in here?
I'm going to skip that. We'll talk about it after because I do want to wrap up with some of the general E3 topics. Because I think it's just going to kind of wrap it up. Chat, if we missed a game, we'll get to it on post-show. Just kind of post it in chat. Who do we think, and chat, you can chime in here too as well, who do you think had the best presser of E3? Now, I'm totally not qualified to answer this because I kind of just sniped in, like I said. I didn't sit and watch. I had to work. Unfortunately, they don't really care about those people. So who do you guys think had the best showing, I guess we'll say? You know, obviously not on the floor. It's just on the stream.
I will jump all over this one.
All I have is a loser. That's all I have.
I was going to say.
A loser.
I know where Polly's going on this.
Because they're, with one exception, everybody had a really good showing and they showed stuff. EA did not. They had, hey, sports games with some concept art and a little bit of prototype footage of these things that you're really interested in, and Hardline. That's
go sign up for a beta now that we're not going to give you keys to.
EA had, no content. They were trying to stretch all this out of this stuff that they could have shown in, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it just, compared to everybody else who had games, they just didn't have it this year.
What's interesting is, everybody's panning EA because they did the live presentation that they stretched out, but the darling seems to be Nintendo, which wasn't live, and everybody panned them before the show. Like, what? Not live? What?
Well, they did the same thing last year, but last year they didn't have nearly as much to show in that. This year,
bullets in the gun. Yeah.
Nintendo, I think, is getting a lot of goodwill from surprising everybody with actually how many games they actually showed. It wasn't necessarily that everyone's super interested in every game they showed. It was just like, oh, wait, Nintendo's actually going to have some games? What?
Because it's so not like them.
To me, it wasn't even that Nintendo had their games. Because, all right, I will answer the question first. I will say that on day 0, it was Ubisoft, hands down. And then day 1 came, and Nintendo actually robbed them of that. Because Nintendo actually made me want to go buy a Wii U.
Same. Which is weird. I didn't expect that.
Which is crazy. Yeah, I was like, that's a kid's console. Why would I want to buy that? But the games that they showed for it and everything that they were showing for it, I was like, yeah, I want that. Let's do that. So to me, I mean, it wasn't necessarily that they were like, oh, hey, guess what? We do have games. Because they've had games. They've had games for a while, but it was, hey, we have games that you want to play.
And so here we are. We're arguing. We start the show, panning DICE, EA, rehash. Can you not make it? And here's this little darling, Nintendo, that has like, what, 3 games? 4? And they just keep making them over and over again. Well, and we fucking love them for it.
A new Star Fox, a new Zelda.
Right.
Nintendo was smart, though. They were like, hey, do you remember your childhood?
Well,
you remember what you grew up playing? And it's like, we're not going to Michael Bay the shit you loved. We're going to bring it to you better. Yeah, I hate you, Transformers. No, but it's like at the same time, it's like Nintendo, like, I'll agree with Puppy. On day 0, in my opinion, I think Microsoft and Ubisoft had the 2 best conferences.
See, and I didn't like Microsoft's presser.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Out of the 2 major consoles, Microsoft, in my opinion, did it a little better because Sony, that guy with his hand, I was more interested in that man's hands than what the hell he was talking at me. And it's like, with Microsoft came out games, indie games. And it's like, okay, this is what they should be doing.
To me,
Ubisoft was like, okay, here's what we got. Here's what you know. It's like Assassin's Creed. Here's your Far Cry. Here's something you haven't seen in a while, Rainbow Six. And it's like, okay, great. Sony was like, timed exclusive content. A TV show about a comic book nobody's ever heard about before. We're going to bring this man with a bright pink shirt on stage and have him talk to you about this shirt. And then we have we have Michael Corleone. Oh, I'm going to make an offer you can't refuse about PlayStation Plus. Like, what? I kind of fell asleep during Sony's conference. I hate to say it. But at the same time, it's like Nintendo on day 1. It's like Zelda, Star Fox, Kirby. The little pink bastard is back.
It's like they held off last year.
Have you seen, like, what I like about those is they're very creative art styles. Like the Kirby games are claymation. If you get like a really good quality video of it, it's hard to see because, internet muddiness kind of kills it on other videos. But if you can see a really high-res video of that, it looks gorgeous because it's like, who would have thought to do a claymation game? But that's exactly what it looks like. The way it animates and the way the textures look, it looks like it's made out of clay. Same with like the Yoshi game where it's made out of yard. Like, they're kind of doubling down on that kind of real-world crafty look this year.
I'll say the Nintendo almost had me completely confused when they had that Reggie guy and that one other dude like fighting each other in that trailer. I'm like, wait, what am I watching?
I laughed so hard at that though.
It was goofy as hell. Like, this better be a good. Like, they better have some dang good gameplay footage to show me after this because I'm walking otherwise.
And then they showed Smash Brothers. Woohoo!
Oh my god! And Pac-Man and Smash Brothers? Yes, please.
About time. Why not? I mean, everybody else has been in Smash Brothers at this point.
I like how they're giving him.
We fit girl in there. Like, seriously, we fit.
I like how they're giving. They're giving Pac-Man though the Pac-Man world treatment.
They just rehash.
Waka.
It's like they just have a timer. Oh wait, the timer's up. All right, let's bring him back.
Okay, well, you know what? How about me ask you this then? As opposed to the rehash, because we've talked about it with Battlefield, we've talked about it with Call of Duty. What makes Nintendo's rehashes so much different from...
The charm.
Okay.
It's for
I just want to add, because I'm
nostalgia. Yeah. They do sometimes do a
Mario
lot of...
Kart is the same freaking game every version.
Yes. But then you have the
it's barely reskinned.
They change stuff a lot, where they have, like, say, Galaxy was a big change for that. Yeah. So sometimes it's more reimagining or
it's the same.
Sometimes it's a rehash.
Yeah, there's always a common thread. But yeah, no, that's, I mean, and I think your nostalgia, like you said, and you said childhood, I think that's big for me. And especially now, like at the point in my life where I'm like, yeah, I love Mario. Here's my kid. Yeah, I want him to experience that too. And like, I looked for the old classic Super Mario Bros. That's what I wanted to get him, but they don't. It's
Mario Maker, bro. You can make it yourself.
I think another thing.
Paper Mario, Baby Mario.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like,
Nintendo is their first party stuff usually is solid for the most part. Like, you may not enjoy the next Mario Kart quite as much, but you know it's going to work. You know exactly what you're getting, and Nintendo has rarely had something where a game just like falls flat on its face, unlike say BF4 where everyone's all down on it, and other things. Their stuff.
In the chat just said it best. No, Juan in the chat just said it best. Nostalgia is what makes those games worth it. I think that's the whole thing. It's like, I mean, I don't. You guys are a little older than me, but I remember playing Super Mario World 2 on the Super Nintendo. Growing up and transitioning to Donkey Kong 64 or Super Mario 64. And it's like, those games were fun. That was my childhood memories. And it's like, to bring those back to the kind of scale, like, I'm not saying the new Zelda is going to be anything like Skyrim or Witcher 3, but it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's open world.
I think that it looks gorgeous. I also think Nintendo gets away with some of it because they're different than everybody else. Everybody else is going towards more realistic or gritty or, whatever, whereas they're all, like, got the cartoony thing down.
It's a game.
Their art style.
It's not a simulator. Yep.
Yeah, like, their art style, they do very, very well. It always looks really good, even if the hardware isn't quite there. And, the polygons they're spitting out and all that isn't the same as everybody else. The art style is totally there.
Yep. And it's games we all know. And they know exactly how old their original audience is. And
gosh.
And Nintendo goes for the friendly kind of. They're trying to be friendly with just about everything they do, friendly and fun, and people buy into that, even if it's something they played before.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. We've covered a large portion of this document. We've got enough to now talk about after. So I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys have anything else to add as we close it down. For the chat, if you don't know, we're going to turn off stream, turn it right back on. I got to use the restroom, so that's why I'm calling it quits.
Same. I am like shifting around badly.
Priorities. This is how I structure shows. I never remember to take a break in the middle of the show. We should just have a little break. Maybe when I get commercial, I can do a commercial, right?
Oh, God, please, yes.
You guys going to call me a sellout as I'm mocking you as I piss. But... we have a couple topics we'll talk in the after show. I know Polly wants to talk about The Witcher 3, and we got a couple E3 questions. We kind of just covered the Zelda one, Project Morpheus, and some virtual reality. I think Puppy added in there. So we got a couple topics we're still covering, and we'll just kind of talk about chat and hang out. How's it feel to be the old man of podcast cover? I'm the old man of everything. Like it's not even new. But so Bumbles, thank you for filling in, buddy. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Very short notice there. And Polly, thank you as well. I know E3 you were in my radar, and Puppy, thanks for classing to join up with that nice hat.
Always do.
Chad, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. It was fun. I can't believe we covered as much as we did, and you guys were kind of on topic the whole time. It was really unsettling. But thanks for coming out, guys.
Why you do that?
Talk to you soon. Take care, guys.